Hey, what's up guys? CACox97 here with you, about to give you Q&A's number 7. I got an assload of questions from you guys, and this isn't even an assload. I just picked a few. I like them though, so it's time to get serious. First question, still a virgin? Yep. Now that we got the serious questions out of the way, now it's time for the jokes. What type of movies do you want to produce when or if you're a future director? Honestly, whatever I want, really. I kind of change my mind a lot with what I'm interested in. Like, I'll always find a certain genre to be interested in at the moment, and then, you know, I'll switch to another one after a year or so. Horror has always kind of been a part of me though, ever since I was young. So I really like horror movies. Action movies, I love action. I love fighting scenes. Like, so far being at the film college that I've been at, I've really missed making action films because rules and stuff, you know, you can't really do fighting a whole lot because it's dangerous and you could hurt someone. I've missed doing that because that's why I really enjoyed making Nerf videos for a while, because I just liked doing fight scenes. Do you still have one Nerf blaster? So funny story about that. I was planning to sell all of my Nerf guns several years ago when I finished making them, and I never really got around to it, so I still have them all somewhere. When did you start and stop saying frick? Well, that's a long story. Pretty much, I believe that people really change when they go to middle school. Middle school is definitely the years where you hit puberty and you change from a kid to an adult, or at the very least, you're developing towards an adult. I said frick because I didn't like cussing. I didn't think it was necessary, and I guess I sort of felt on the inside that it made me sort of better than everyone else because I had the self-control to not say the nasty, not necessary words like that, and that I could, you know, deal with things in different ways, which is fine. I can... What the fuck's going on? Okay. Okay. Anyway, so... Alright, now, so yeah, I mean, that's not a bad thing to think, you know, that's honestly, you know, alright, go ahead, try, you know, any kid wants to believe that they can be better than everyone else when they're an adult. So I went to middle school in 6th grade for most of the year until I was cast in the musical Ragtime. So I missed school for several months. I was tutored, of course. And then when I came back, things were different. The show was going to be moving to Broadway in a few months when I would be in 7th grade, and that was when I really wanted to be an actor, and so my acting career kicked off. So my parents and I chose to put me on online school, so that way I wouldn't have to deal with normal public school. I could still do my learning, still get through school while also being an actor. And I did that for 7th and 8th grade. The show had already ended and everything, and my acting career wasn't doing too well, so I went back to public school. I came in saying frick and stuff like that, and everyone looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. It wasn't necessarily peer pressure, but it was more of, I realized it's just not me. Like, I changed and life kind of changed me, and really it doesn't matter. Like, you can try and be different than everyone else and, you know, believe that you're better than everyone else, but really just be yourself. And I found that myself was saying curse words a lot. And even though I, you know, chose to not cuss, I said frick so much, it was ridiculous. It was stupid. But that's just basically a part of my personality, so that's why I've really came to that. And I know it's not a good thing, like, it's not good to cuss a lot. I mean, that's me, and honestly, I feel better just doing what I want, pretty much. Are you ever gonna make a Deep Sheep Minecraft Season 2? Deep Sheep Season 2 is coming out this summer to the Deep Sheep channel. What YouTubers did you watch when you first started YouTube? I feel like I get this question like every Q&A, but for the new people who don't know, or maybe I'm wrong and I haven't answered that before. I watched Shane Dawson a lot. Shane Dawson was big. Rooster Teeth followed a little bit after him, but Rooster Teeth has always been a big one. Critical was another big one. Philip DeFranco, I've been watching him for a while. Oh, I remember the first thing I ever watched on YouTube. The first YouTube video I ever saw was called Lego Thing. It was this really old, clearly, Lego Harry Potter video where Harry and Ron called Hermione Hermione. And they would do this thing where they would like bump people and say bother, bother. And it was the dumbest thing in the world, but I was 10 And I found that shit hilarious, so I just watched it a lot. And so I watched a lot of Lego stop motion videos, and there was this thing called like Random Acts of Lego-ness that was like the coolest series ever. And I watched that, and I remember it took the guy years till he finally finished it, but seeing him finally finish it was really cool, and it kind of reminded me like, hey, I got plenty of series that need finishing. Come on, if that guy can do it, I can do it. Is Spartan Super Soldier still continuing? Speaking of series that need finishing, so Spartan Super Soldier, for those of you who don't know, is this big series that I have had so much of it planned for years. Like, I've had the ending planned for years. I've always like known that it would take me a while to finish it, but it's come to the point now where I really don't think it's worth finishing. Now, when the rest of the Deep Sheep crew move in with me, it would be easier to make this series, but the series doesn't get enough views, really. And I know part of that is I started the series when I didn't really know how to do machinima very well, especially episode 1. Kind of a mess to watch. Like, the story's there, but the sound and the video quality is just eh. I could choose to remaster the episodes, or I could choose to just keep going, but the episodes don't get enough views. And I'm really getting to the point now where I need to make videos that also get views. I need to make films that really get me somewhere. I mean, I feel like I want to continue it, but it's only when it's like feasibly possible. What was the first thing that came to your mind when you found out that Spencer was taller than you? I literally walked up to him, and the moment I had to look slightly up, I said, fuck. But then I promised myself that no matter what, even though the Spencer is short joke doesn't apply anymore because he's taller than most of the members in Deep Sheep, I don't give a fuck. That joke, I'm going to make that joke for the rest of my life, even if it doesn't make any sense. This next comment says, short as Spencer. Do you ever outsource certain aspects of your film? I know that your recent film, Don't Look Away, had a significantly longer credits list than most of your short films, and as someone who wants to do what you do, I'm curious about your process as far as collaboration goes. By the way, if you're ever looking for someone to help with post-production, special effects, coloring, etc., I'm currently looking to add some things to my resume, so I'd be more happy to work for free. That's awesome. I'll definitely contact you if I need help with that because I'm not very good at special effects like After Effects and all that. Also, what film have you been most excited about this last year? I know Don't Look Away was one of your biggest productions as far as production value, but maybe you have a different favorite besides that one. Also, love what you've been doing. Can't wait for more of it summer. Keep on creating, Josh. Thank you, Josh. All right, so first question. Do I ever outsource certain aspects of my film? Ever since I've gone to film college, I really do realize that film is a collaboration. I was pretty much doing everything on my own. Like, I would have people act in my films and, you know, maybe help me, but for the most part, directing, writing, editing, using the camera, everything. I was pretty much doing it all. And it's impossible to do that now with what I'm trying to do. I don't know if outsource is the specific word that I would use, but it's more of just I'm looking for collaboration. If I'm going to make a film and I need help with it, then I'm going to look for someone who wants to help me, but also shares the same passion as me. And that's what Deep Sheep is all about, is all of us helping together to make films because we all enjoy movies. Film is a collaboration, so that's why I had a lot of people in my credits list for Don't Look Away because that was the biggest production I've ever done. The other question, what film was I most excited about last year? Break-In was my other favorite. I think Break-In might be my best short film I've ever made, not including like Nerf videos or things that have a previous story to them. Like as a single film that you could just watch, that's probably my favorite one that I've done so far. Where do you see Deep Sheep in 5 years? Well, in a few days, Alex is moving in with me, Crazy Jack 28. Oh, and one last thing.
Stay frosty.
And then the next person who would move in with me is probably going to be Spencer, which would be in a year. And then Robbie will probably be moving in the year after that. Camden might be moving in the same year as Robbie, not really sure. And we're not exactly sure when Nathan would move in. So 5 years, hopefully 5 of the 6 members have moved in together by that point. And we're making movies, getting our name out there. Hopefully we'll have a bigger fan base. We'll really be a production company then. I got a question for you, Chris. Thank you. Could you do a top 10, 5, or whatever number countdown of your best and or favorite Nerf videos? Because I would like to know what your favorite Nerf videos are/were. Well, I do think towards the end I was just definitely becoming a much better filmmaker. So the last 2 Nerf videos that I ever did, Nerf Arena 4 Seasons and the Final 10 Things You Should Never Do a Nerf For, I think those 2 are probably the best Nerf videos I ever did. Infiltration, I always thought was maybe my best old Nerf for because I really took it to another level. I decided to try and make it seem real because we were like soldiers and shit like that, and I had a story involved in it and it was a surprise twist ending and all that, so that one was always one of my favorites. But I really enjoyed the Nerf Arena series. I really liked doing the sword fighting. I feel like sword fighting is maybe my favorite thing to film, honestly. I love sword fighting. I can't wait to do my next sword fight. Stop! The camera moved. Is there anything you would like to see animated from Deep Sheep or your channel? So I've had ideas for years of animations. In fact, I've always kind of wondered if Spartan Super Soldier would do well as an animation later on in life. I don't know how to animate. I'm not good at it, and I've tried to learn it before, and I just can't really seem to get it. So, of course, yeah, I would love to have animation. On the Deep Sheep channel, we sort of do our own version of the Rooster Teeth animated adventures called Minecraft Shorts, where we do a Minecraft machinima of a story that we told, or, you know, a funny moment that happened, and that's the closest we've gotten to animation, honestly. What would you say is your favorite game? Halo Reach. Halo Reach is the reason I met most of the Deep Sheep members. It's the reason Spartan Super Soldier exists, and that game just has so much that it's one of the few games that you can just keep going back to and find a new thing to have fun with. Do you have any tips for us who would like to find a career in filmmaking or YouTube? First of all, I would say it is very difficult to start a career on YouTube now. I got lucky because I made Candy Bar, and that was popular, and that kicked off my channel. Now with filmmaking, the biggest thing is to make films. Just fucking make films, for the love of God. Don't sit around and think of ideas and go, oh, I'll do this someday, or I can't get anyone. No, fucking make a film. Like, it's not that hard, seriously. If you want to make a film, you'll just do it. After you've really started making films, find your niche. Find something that you really like doing, and try to do that more, and really try to become better at it. And then the other thing is to watch a lot of movies, because it really helps to watch good movies and bad movies and understand why they're good or why they're bad. And the final question of this Q&A, what was the first video game you played on any console you've played? The first video game I ever played on a console was Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King for Xbox. Xbox was my first console I ever got. Now the first video game I ever played, no clue. Wolfenstein 3D was one of them. Serious Sam was another one. And then... Alright, so that's it for this Q&A. I told you I'd be a little bit more serious, you know, actually answer questions this time as opposed to the last few times where I really didn't give a fuck. Hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A with CACox97. And I love you. Fuck off.